Good evening. I want to present my job market paper. I am Said MD Abdullah. I am applying for the position at Baleari University at the position of assistant professor, and my interest is in accounting department, and and also related department will also be suitable for me. And so I want to present my job market paper. So the title of my job market paper is Value Relevance of Climate Change Disclosure, Evidence from EuroStoxx 600 Companies. So I have prepared the abstract in this way. So here we have examined how the quantity and quality of climate change disclosure affected the share price of EuroStoxx 600 companies from 2014 to 2021. Regarding methodology, we have used Python based content analysis to extract information from the reports, climate reports of those companies from 2014 to 2021 to measure the quantity and quality of climate change disclosure. Then we use regression analysis with the fixed effect of country and sector based to find how these uh, quantity and quality of climate change disclosure affect the share price. So we found that quantity of in our case we have considered the total number of relevant sentences, climate relevant sentences, as a quantity of climate change disclosure negatively affects the share price. So we assume that it is a kind of a rational or a future oriented decision sometimes for the investors, because they are exposed to the future vulnerability of the company. That's why they react negatively. We also found that quality, we considered two quality here: sentiment and readability. In our case, readability positively affect the share price, readability of climate information. So when it is easy to read, uh, investors react it positively. Originality, this is the first study to examine how the quantity and quality of climate change disclosure, where the quantity and quality was measured through content analysis of European companies on share price. So this is our originality. Implications. So it is for policymakers, they can raise awareness and provide guidance support to investors and companies to adopt sustainable practices, so that the investors are not panic for the future vulnerabilities or risk due to climate change. And also in standard setters can put more steps to take readability as an important thing to consider during preparing the uh, climate report. And also this is a practical suggestion for the investors, so that they can consider readability as an important issue in the climate report. So here we go to the motivation here, how we so so this is the first study where no study has analyzed the effect or the quality and quantity of climate change disclosure across the entire European context. So we address this gap in this paper. We calculate the quantity and quality of climate change disclosure, particularly of entire European region from the year 2014 to 2021. So this is our novelty in our paper. And regarding the sample, uh, we have collected the CSR report or ESG report or sustainability report, wherever the climate information was possible to find. We collected that from the year 2014 to 2021. Why we choose this year? Because 2014 is the year where NFRD was introduced formally uh, first, and 2021 was the year where we first was the last available report in our research when we conducted the research. And we of course, yes, we have conducted the EuroStoxx 600 companies as our sample firms. And initially we collected 2826 reports. Then there were many PDF files which were not able to read, or the file was damaged, it was not in English. So we had initially 2600, and so we have 2674 reports later. And we have then we have collected the stock price, uh, and the other financial data such as EPS and BVS from the Refinitiv Econ. And and another thing, we conducted our descriptive analysis on 2700 reports, but we conducted our regression analysis on 1765 report, because there were a lot of outliers, and we reduced outliers, and we deducted all those items where of our outliers up to 3 standard deviation. And so we finally had 1765 reports to conduct the regression analysis. Excuse me. So this is how we measured our climate change disclosure. Uh, uh, the first is the quantity of climate change disclosure, where we as a quantity we conducted the total relevant sentences. We considered these as the quantity of climate change disclosure. And we how we do this, we selected the keywords based on the previous literature related to climate change, and we collected all the number of relevant sentences which are based on these keywords. And the average sentiment score, we use the text blog package from Python uh, to find the average sentiment scores of the relevant sentences that we counted during measuring the total relevant sentences. So we measured the average sentiment scores of these total relevant sentences we found. Then we also conducted the readability. We measured the readability of the relevant sentences. So both the quality we measured based on the total relevant sentences. Reliability we used using the text stat package of Python. So these are regression model based on the Olson model. So these we have developed three regression model. The first one is how quantity of climate change disclosure affect the share price. Then how quality of climate change disclosure affect the share price, the sentiment and readability. And we also added the EPS and BVS as per Olson model. And we also added the dummy variable of 2017. If the reports are after 2017, we consider it as 1. If before that, we consider it as 0. And the country of each companies, so there are a lot of dummy variables of countries. And the sector, lot of dummy variable of sectors. And the third regression model is how quantity and quality both affect the share price. Here P is the share price, the variable dependent variable. So this is the descriptive statistics. I go to the regression model to our hypothesis. Okay, I think miss one thing. The first hypothesis in our paper is first hypothesis is there is a relation between quantity of climate change disclosure and share price. The second hypothesis is uh, there is a relation between quality of climate change disclosure and share price. And the third hypothesis is quantity and quality of climate change disclosure both affect the share price. So I go to the regression model directly that describes that tests all the three hypotheses. These are all the regression model that I just described. So this is the Pearson correlation matrix. There are some significant relation like this one. This is the highest one, 0.32. This is significant between quantity, total relevant sentences, and sentiment score. But the score is 0.32, which is considered weak. So we don't think it is a it may create a multicollinearity problem because though it is significant, but the score is shows that the relation is weak. So the first regression model result is quantity negatively affect the share price. Dependent variable is p. You can see quantity significance is 0.09, and the bvs and eps is as always it is significant and positive. We can see that the dummy variable 2017 is almost significant, like it may probably also affect the help to affect the share price of the quantity of climate change disclosure. And we can see that the VIF is quite acceptable score, so there is no multicollinearity problem. The second regression model result is we can see that the readability is a negatively related to share price, and it is significant. Okay, as a readability we have considered Coleman-Liao index. We have readability. We have a Coleman-Liao index as our readability. So in the Coleman-Liao index is a score where which if it is high, it is difficult to read. So negatively related means when it is difficult to read, investors react it negatively. So that's how it is negatively related to share price. Sentiment has no significant effect on share price, and the VF scores are also quite normal. EPS BVS is always as always it is significant and positive to share price, and the D variable is not significant. The dummy variable of 2017. If we go to the regression model 3 result, which is quantity and quality both how it affects the share price, so we the result is same actually. Quantity negatively affect the share price, quality, which is readability, it negatively affect the share price, but it is a Coleman-Liao index which says like difficult. If the climate report is difficult to read, then investors react it negatively. So if it is easy to read, investors react to it positively. And sentiment also is not not significantly related. BVS and EPS both are significantly related. Dummy variable 2070 is almost significantly related, but it is not significant. So we go to the as a conclusion, we say that we have two important results here: the readability and the quantity of climate change disclosure. So we can say that as it is negatively related, we can, and the sentiment, we want to say that sentiment is not significantly related. So we can say that the investors are not emotionally reacting to it, they are more rationally reacting to it. So it makes sense that the quantity is negatively reacting to share price. It indicates that the information was providing more exposure toward the future vulnerabilities, and the information was providing more negative information. So as a rational investor they were negatively reacting to it. And readability, so it is also quite rational to understand, like if it is easy to read, it is more easy to understand, so it create more information, it add more information. So according to efficient market hypothesis, so if there is a less less information asymmetry and more value addition, and it positively affect the share price. Similarly, readability gives the indication that it is the investors are getting more information, more understandability about the company's strategy, so and adding more information, more value, so it is giving positive effect to share price. So regarding implication, as I discussed above, also mentioned in the conclusion part, that so policymakers should take more uh, important actions toward the sustainability, so that the investors or companies, they can go through more sustainable way, and the future is more safe from the climate risk. And from the readability, standard setters can add a new clause in the climate change standards regarding readability, so that companies consider it as a very important thing. And also investors should work on readability as well while produce the climate report. And for the future implication, we have found that some studies are contradicting with the previous results, so it would be great to conduct more qualitative study why those contradictory results in our study and the previous studies. And also we conducted the research on European context, more country based research, or the sector based research would be more helpful for the future research, and could give us more important insights of this topic. Thank you very much.